1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I decided to make a second video. I was gonna try to be conservative, but fuck it, whatever. I'll make one more video tonight. So, Chapter 6, Green Fire. Oh my god. If I ever wrote anything in my life that would have the SJWs come after me, this is it, okay? So, just like last episode, I got a little explaining to do. So I'm gonna censor myself a little bit in here because I don't know, it's just not right. Like, okay, basically, I'll tell you all the backstory, okay? So you don't have to wonder what I'm censoring, whatever. I don't even know what I'm gonna censor, but we'll see. Basically, this chick, she's like this new chick, she comes in, and I don't know what I was fucking thinking. I don't know if she was supposed to be comic relief or some stupid shit like that. But basically, she's just this girl. She's Asian. She's half Vietnamese and half Japanese, apparently. So that's all fine, you know. The problem is that she is fucking, like, she has this weird character trait, which I'm not gonna imitate, but she was originally supposed to have, like, you know, this really thick, stereotypical, like, Asian accent. Which I'm not gonna do, because fake accents annoy the shit out of me. And she's also supposed to talk really fast. So I don't know if this is supposed to be some bullshit fucking, like, Indiana Jones style, like, racist, like, comic trope or some shit like that. But, like, every time, like, I wrote like, you're not gonna be able to tell because I'm just gonna read it normally. But if you were to read this page, like, every time she talks, like, all the words in her sentences have a dash between every word, because that's supposed to stand for her stringing all her words together, basically, like, because she talks really, really fast. I don't know what the fuck that was supposed to be, but I don't know if it's supposed to be funny or if it's supposed to be, if I just thought it was interesting, like, yeah, let me just make a character like this. That's an interesting character trait. You know, when you're really young and you're, like, you know, anyone who's done, like, creative writing, like, and started creative writing as a child, like, you know that, like, you kind of just experiment with things, especially before, like, all this fucking, like, you know, before all these, politically correct rules started cracking down and stuff like that, and you have more freedom to do whatever and, like, not really think about it or care, you know, there was way more doors open to, like, possibilities. So, it's, you know, adults are always going to be encouraging you to, it may not be your parents, it may be a teacher, I don't care who it is. So, if you got one adult in your life who encourages you to do creative writing when you're a child, they always tell you, like, certain things, and, like, it's like, you know, they want you to have interesting characters. They're like, yeah, don't be afraid of giving your characters quirky traits and making them fun, and just make them unique. Give them weird traits. Give them, like, a mole on their left shoulder, and make it so their favorite pattern is, like, purple stars, and, like, anything that's just random and weird. I don't know if that's a 90s thing or if it's a universal thing, but it's just like, yeah, it was encouraged to have just, like, random traits. It's because, like, you know, you want your characters to come to life. You don't want them to be interesting and, you know, have traits and everything. And, yeah, a lot of the young adult books we read for school, too, had that type of, like, they were, like, modeling that, you know. They'd be like, yes, this is my character who has, like, a gap between the third and fourth teeth, and also, like, loves pineapple, and, you know, has a bicycle that has, like, streamers only on one side. Like, it'll just be, like, the randomest shit, you know, because it's just supposed to be, like, look, everybody has quirky little traits, basically, you know, whatever. Alright, so with that fucking little anecdote to the side, oh, and also the bitch's name is Wasabi. Let me just say that, okay? That is I wish I had a little fake, like, canned laughter laugh track, okay? Her name is supposed to be Wasabi. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Because she's half Japanese? Who the fuck would name their child Wasabi? I mean, I'm assuming it's like a, nickname, you know? But there is a part where she said her grandfather named her. But I mean, her grandfather could have given her a nickname. You know, it's not necessarily her real name, but I think I meant it to be her real name. I just don't want to admit it. I don't want to think about it. It's so horrible. I mean, like, that's like calling your child, like, if you're an American and you call your child ketchup or something. I'm just like, I'm disgusted with myself. I can't. You know those things where they say, like, write a letter to your 12-year-old self. Letter to 12-year-old self. Don't name your Asian character Wasabi, okay? That's just bad taste, literally and figuratively. So I'm gonna change her name, okay? I'm not gonna call her Wasabi, just like I didn't want to say Mooly in the other one. I'm gonna change her name to Wally. How about that? Wally's just a cute, nice little name. And we all know Wally is totally fine because a Pixar movie is named Wally. So, I think that, or maybe Willy. Willy, yeah, I'll name her Willy. Willy is a girl's name, you know. I mean, not that it would fucking matter what sex it is or gender or whatever the fuck. Okay, too much explanations. 6 minutes has gone by. Let's just read this bullshit. It was September. Summer turning slowly into autumn. That meant fog, lots of it. They must be on the coast. See, this is the funny thing when you grow up on the coast, or at least for me. Apparently, I just couldn't fucking fathom living anywhere else, but that's because I always lived on the coast. Now that I live inland, in this dry-ass climate, with no wind, no salt in the air, no mist, no fog. Sometimes it is overcast, but there's no fog. There's no mist. That doesn't exist, you know. Anyways. Creeping over the land into Karichna, a biting cold. The DOAs shivered and closed the windows so the block became stuffy and tight, like it wasn't before. Perfect sticka weather. Oh yeah, what does sticka mean again? Did they ever explain that? I don't remember. California was in a bad mood. She's not always I would always be in a bad mood if I was kept in some fucking Guantanamo Bay looking fucking torture chamber bullshit. Pacing her cage, huffing, talking to Skippy. Everyone was restless. Val was especially bad. Simon, the newest to the block, annoyed her. She didn't like to be annoyed. Shut your fucking mouth. Quit that damn chewing. Try and stop me, ass bitch. That's funny, ass bitch. That's like some prison slang. I'll rip your throat out. Yeah, of course you will, because you can clearly do that. Why don't you go get cut? They snarled and tore at each other through the wire. No one could break it up. Poor Habry. The only good thing about her being gone was that she didn't have to be caught in the middle of this. Oh, she's like being kept in some even smaller cage, like in another fucking room somewhere, maybe in a closet or some shit. The sky was gray, and the spiders died of cold. The fleas, too. The mice were gone, probably underground sleeping. There were no other animals in the block but them. For once, everyone was quiet. It was too early and too cold for fighting. Butterclip was sitting in his cage. Just sitting. California watched him for a while. He was looking just her way. If he could see her. If only he weren't deaf, she could talk to him. Damn DOAs. It's funny because he's not really deaf. He just has, or at least I don't remember intending him to actually be deaf. He just had like a thing over his ears, like some like tape over his ears or something like that. I think he could still hear through that. But maybe he is deaf. I don't remember that, but maybe he is. In her restlessness, she shoved over her water bowl. It spilled over the wooden frame of her cage. Swarms of little insects crawled out. Ugh. The hardy ones. The only ones who could survive the cold. She growled. Shut the fuck up, she said, even though no one was talking. She just wanted to swear. That's funny. It's like, fuck. I just felt like cussing. The green fire came at a bad time. Simon was sick. Sick bad. The DOAs made him like that, of course. He threw up when he tried to sleep or stand up, so his cage smelled like acid. Ew, they don't come fucking clean it up. And I know everybody's shitting in their cage. Okay? I know everybody's shitting in the corner, and then they gotta, like, sleep next to their shit and everything. That's so awful. But I know it's the case. Hey, I know it's the case. I know it's happening. Okay? He didn't even bother trying to eat. Could we start tomorrow? A sneer started to spread over the captain's face, but it quickly disappeared. Eager, aren't you? No, we better wait another day. Then we can try to revive him. Seneca's just blue balling this motherfucker, whoever that was wanting to, like, get on with it. Val put on an ultra-sweet voice. Made sick, almost to death. Then the nice little DOAs will come and make him all better. Maybe, or maybe they'll just fucking let him die. Maybe they won't be able to cure him, you never know. He pulled himself up on his thin forearm, spitting at her. You think you're such hot stuff. I think they wired your head up a little too much. She shot him a venomous look. Oh, look, it's little cure for the sickness. She said it not nearly as sweetly. You're gonna die, she hissed, then louder. You're gonna die. She looked over at Digger. Just like Digger's girlfriend, she said, stretching out the last word. No one said anything. Why is she bringing Digger into this? Like, what a fucking bitch. The Green Fire. It's so funny, because it's like, I said that she was based on Vasquez, but nothing she does is like her. She was just inspired by her, I suppose, you know. The Green Fire came in struggling fiercely. She was raven-haired and dusty-skinned. She was also, as they would find out, a very fast talker. It's funny because that kind of reminds me of in Chicago, even though I think Chicago also came out after this, where it's like when Lucy Liu comes in the prison and she's like kicking everybody and she's like, go to hell to everybody, you know. She says that like a couple of times, you know. That shit was funny. As the DOA led her to her cage, Saramina's old cage. Did Saramina die? I don't even remember. She mostly just kicked at him and swore. Aided by the others' usual racket, she got wilder, scratching and scrambling until she threw her into her cage. Oh, he threw her into her cage. Hey, new kid, who the fuck are you? Where did Sarah go? Yeah, what happened to Saramina? Tell us, new kid. Like she fucking knows. Do they want to be treated like that, huh? When they came in, huh? Do they remember being new? When they get brought in, you know, for the first time and thrown in their little fucking cell? Do they want everybody else being like, what happened to the previous person? What happened? They don't even say previous person. You don't even know what they're talking about. They're just like, what happened to blah, blah, blah? What happened? What happened? It's like, alright, what the fuck you want me to do? I just fucking got here. Don't you see this? What's going on? Anyway. Blah, blah, blah. Tell us, new kid. Yeah, listen to her. Tear the DOA's brains out. She took a glance at all of them, tossing her hair back so they could see her green eyes. Oh yeah, she's Asian and she has green eyes. That's another thing about her. He slammed the door shut on her. Oh, come on, baby. Give me some sugar before I go crazy. It says crassy, actually. Her words were strange, as if she strung them all together into one word while talking. The others didn't care. They were too busy laughing. Are they laughing at her? I don't know what they're laughing about. As soon as the DOA left, the others started firing her questions. Look, I don't know who this Sarah kid is, but if I did know him, he wouldn't be here. Well, yes, good point. You're in the bastard's cage. Oh, so this is the bastard's cage. And in that case, I guess that makes me the bitch. How about that son of a bitch who brought me here? What cage does he sleep in? Everyone had to laugh at that one. Later that night, California got something she didn't expect. She saw the Green Fire next to Butterclip. She never really stopped to think what would happen if a girl was next to Butterclip. And she got tight and angry. Ooh, jealousy, jealousy. Like when you see another girl talking to the guy you like. Ooh. She was jealous. She shook her head. I can't be jealous of the new kid, but she was, though she tried to tell herself it was the weather. The weather. It wasn't. Hey kid, she growled. You got a name? Sure do, straight from the island where my parents were born. At least they said they did, and I got green eyes. So they call me, Willie. She stuck her hands through the wire and made a strange symbol with her first 2 fingers sticking up in a V shape. That's a strange symbol, the peace sign. I'm assuming she's doing this. I had a picture of her that I drew. I just remembered that, doing the peace sign like this. How is that a strange symbol? Anyway. Peace person I don't know the name of. It's California. Peace California, and it's written out like California. So, is that fucking racist? I don't know. And that's when both of them dropped back into the shadows and tried to sleep. That's random. They're just like, he's just like, peace, and then they're just like, well, we sleep now, you know, but without even saying that, just like doing it, you know, that's just like, that makes me think it's like an SNL skit or something, or like a fucking, like, Whitest Kids You Know or something, just like, they're just like, you know, at the same time, like, that just, it's so unnatural. Try to sleep. California had thoughts. Parents, who were they? No visions came to mind. Oh, okay. So, yeah, this was next is called next is chapter 7. It's called Seneca Alone. Should I try to read one more page? I'll read one more page. Why the fuck not? Seneca slunk off the truck without so much as a thank you, muttering under his breath. Jerk off, crazy driver. I wonder how many people he'll hit and run tonight. Almost before he had both feet on the road, the trucker slammed the door on him and sped off, spraying Seneca with gravel. Yeah, oh, this is still back in his past, I guess. He had been hitching for a while, and his parents had been the second strike. They left with no intention of coming back, so he did the same. What the fuck? So he has both parents, but yet they just decided they're just gonna leave. They're not even gonna kick him out. It's one thing if your parents kick you out, that's fucked up enough, you know, but at least it makes more sense because they're like, well, we want the house, you know, like, we don't want you, even though we've had you since you're a fucking teenager, but apparently now, after 15, 16 years or whatever, we're just now deciding, no, we don't want you anymore. Or maybe they think like, oh, you can take care of yourself now, or some bullshit like that. I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. I don't want to think about it. But, it's another thing entirely for them to be like, hey, let's just leave. Let's do a Jack Kerouac and just fucking up and leave our whole life. And, yeah, our son, who gives a fuck, you know? Like, what the fuck? I'm sure it happens. Everything happens, but I've never heard of it, you know? What are you playing with, girl? What is that? Oh, my bookmark. Okay, cool. Where was I? It was okay, though. He was 16. That was old enough to take care of himself. He spit out the gravel into the road and started to travel. The street was dark, and a single street light shone ominously in the night. With a shiver, he hopped the fence and into the farmyard. So, see what this story is telling you? Even if you come from a horrible, troubled history where apparently you go to some terrible school where kids are just so violent, you can get your ass beat at any time. They'll fucking kill your cat in, like, this horrible, like, sadistic way and show it to you. And then, fucking, your parents don't give a fuck about you. They're, like, negligent to the fucking 100%, you know, and shit. All this bad shit happens to you in your childhood. But guess what? You can still grow up, go to college, and become a successful fucking biologist that experiments on other human beings and become the top head, the boss of your entire facility. Or at least of your wing. I don't know. So look, you can still be successful even if you come from a rotten childhood. Is that the lesson that Seneca's telling us? If you really want to go to college, go for it. Alright. Where was I? Seneca was in rural country. The farmyard he was in was small. He pawed the short grass on his hands and knees. Why? He stood up and sniffed the air. What's he smelling? In all directions were tall stalks of what looked like grass, or wheat, though he couldn't tell in the dark. Okay, 20 minutes. Let's do it.